Hey guys, my name is Ilaha, and today I would like to talk about one of the most important SAT writing topics. I would like to talk about independent clauses. So I'm going to show you the presentation. We will cover the ways of connecting two independent clauses, and we will do some practice questions. So first of all, I would like to ask you a question. What do we need to build a sentence? Like, what are the basic building blocks of any sentence? You may say that I need words, and I hear that. For a sentence, I need words, but can you say that this is a normal sentence? Can you say that potato, plant, unicorn, dance, Jessica is a normal sentence? No, you can't. So you need some idea for the sentence, right? So let's add some idea. A beautiful girl. Okay, I do have idea, but do you usually approach someone and say a beautiful girl or a bad weather? No, usually you approach someone and you say the weather is bad. This girl is beautiful. So for normal sentence, I need action. A beautiful girl is singing. Is this sentence normal? Yes, it is. So for any normal sentence, I need three components: subject, verb, and idea. Remember, if you have subject, verb, and idea, you get a normal sentence and you get an independent clause. So independent clause is a clause that is so cool that it doesn't depend on others. It doesn't need any help and it can stand as a normal sentence on its own. Let me demonstrate examples. Buzova was eaten by bears. Buzova is my subject, was eaten is my verb, and I have idea here. Boys killed their pre-SAT teacher using potatoes. Boys is my subject, killed is my verb, and I have idea. Now let's move on to the most important topic on SAT. How to connect independent clauses. Let's take two independent clauses. Thanos had killed billions of people. Avengers brought them back to life. So I want you to connect them into one long sentence. You may want to connect them like that. Thanos had killed billions of people, comma, Avengers brought them back to life. This is a mistake. If you connect them like that, you will lose SAT writing points. This mistake is called comma splice. Comma splice is when you connect two independent clauses using just comma. And remember, this is a mistake. You can never ever connect two normal sentences using just comma. If you want to remember this rule better, try to just remember this picture where comma is asking for help because it can't connect two sentences without any help. Let's look at the first way of connecting two independent clauses. Way number one, fanboys. Fanboys are conjunctions for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. How it works? Independent clause, comma, fanboys, independent clause. For example, Thanos had killed billions of people, comma, but Avengers brought them back to life. So, comma, but is my fanboy, and before I put comma. So, this is a completely perfect way of connecting two independent clauses. Then, I was hungry, comma, so I ate some pizza. So is another fanboy, and before I have a comma. So this is also correct way of connecting independent clauses. Now let's have some practice. You can pause this video and try to solve those questions on this slide. So what you need to do is you need to connect those sentences using fanboys. Just make sure to put comma before fanboy and try to use the fanboy that will fit the context of the sentence. On next slide, you will see the solution for this practice. Tom likes to watch Twilight movie, but his friend hates it. Drake had free time, so Josh invited him to hang out together. Becky punched Richard, so he complained to the teacher. Darth Vader wanted to conquer the galaxy, but Luke stopped him. So maybe in some cases you have used another fanboy, but as long as it makes sense in the context and as long as you have comma before this fanboy, it's completely okay. Now let's move on to the next way of connecting two independent clauses. It's the way where we use semicolon. I know that most of you are scared of using semicolon because usually we don't use semicolon a lot in our native language. But let's not make semicolon cry and understand how to use it properly on the SAT. Construction is pretty simple. Independent clause, semicolon, independent clause. For example, we can go to the museum to do some research. Is it a normal sentence? Yes, it is. Mondays are pretty quiet there. Does it sound like a normal sentence? Yes, it does. And what do I put between them? Semicolon. Another example. I ordered a cheeseburger for lunch. Independent clause. Life is too short for counting calories. Independent clause. And between them is semicolon. Another example. Martha has gone to the library. Independent clause. Andrew has gone to play soccer. Independent clause. And between them I have semicolon. So let me tell you one life hack about the usage of semicolon on SAT. On SAT exam, semicolon and period have equal meaning, so they have equal function. What does it mean? It means that if you have option A and option B and they are identical with only one difference between them, that option A uses semicolon and option B uses period. That means that you can eliminate both of them because it's like having 2 plus 2 and 4. They have the same meaning. I will illustrate it when we solve practice question. So this is the practice question that I want you to attempt on your own. So you can pause this video and solve it. But first, read the question carefully. Which of the following would not be an acceptable alternative to the underlined portion? So basically, the question is asking, from options A, B, C, and D, which one cannot be used in this sentence? So let's see. My logic will be option A and option C. They're completely identical. In option A, I see growers, each grower. In option C, I see growers, each grower. So exactly same. But in option A, I have period, and in option C, I have semicolon. That means that I can eliminate A and C because they're identical answer choices. And I will be left between B and D. So my next step is to identify what kind of clauses do I have in this sentence. There are many good varieties of tomatoes available to growers. Independent clause. Each grower should try a few plants of several varieties to determine which performs best. Independent clause. In the first independent clause, I have there are many good varieties, subject verb. In the second independent clause, I have each grower should try, independent clause. So if I have two independent clauses, I can connect them using comma fanboys or semicolon. Now, between B and D, D is using comma fanboy. So D is acceptable way. But the question is asking for not acceptable way. And not acceptable way is option B, because it's connecting them using just comma. And here comes the moment when you remember this poor comma that is connecting two sentences without any help and is suffering. So in this question, option B is the answer choice, which is not acceptable way of connecting two independent clauses. Now, I want you to look at this sentence and to think what's wrong with this sentence. The dog likes my blanket, semicolon, so he sleeps on my bed. If you have just said that the problem is that before so I have semicolon, then this is completely correct answer. Remember that fanboys and semicolons are enemies. On SAT exam, they should never ever be used together. Before fanboys, I used only comma, not semicolon. So if you see the answer choice with semicolon and fanboy, you can eliminate this choice. For example, if you see semicolon but, don't even read this answer choice, just cross it out and that's all. Now let's move on to the last way of connecting two independent clauses. It's the way when we connect two independent clauses using conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs are big, ugly conjunctive verbs such as however, moreover, therefore, as a result, or other transitional expressions. So let me demonstrate you the way we should connect basic sentences using conjunctive adverbs. So the construction looks the following way. Independent clause, semicolon, conjunctive adverb, comma, independent clause. Let's look at example. Jennifer put a new washer in the bathroom faucet before leaving for the party. Jennifer is my subject. Put is my verb. And I have idea. So this is an independent clause. May figured out how to fix the garbage disposal. May is my subject, figured out is my verb, and I have idea. And what do I have between them? Semicolon, moreover, which is my ugly conjunctive adverb, and comma. Another example. My grandmother has stayed up late 4 nights in a row. Grandmother is subject, has stayed up is verb, and I have idea. She cannot seem to get well. She is subject, cannot seem verb, and I have idea. And between them we have semicolon, ugly conjunctive adverb as a result, and comma. Let's do some practice question. Take a look, pause this video, and try to solve this question without my help. On the next slide, you will see my detailed solution. Environmentalists have worked hard to rid the river of toxic chemicals, but the population of fish still hasn't recovered to previous levels. First thing that I will do is I will define, does this sentence consist of independent clauses, or maybe of independent and dependent clause, or maybe of two dependent clauses? Environmentalists have worked hard to rid the river of toxic chemicals. Environmentalists is my subject, have worked is my verb, and I have idea. The population is my subject, hasn't recovered is my verb, and I have idea. So this is my first independent clause, and this is my second independent clause. I automatically eliminate answer choice B because I have semicolon and fanboy, and you do remember that they are enemies. I eliminate D because however is my big ugly conjunctive adverb, which should have semicolon before, not comma. And between A and C, I will choose A, comma, fanboy, because when I look at C, I remember this poor comma trying to connect two sentences without any help. Now let's recap what we have learned today. Never ever try to connect two normal sentences or two independent clauses using just comma. This is a mistake. 3 ways to connect two independent clauses or to connect two normal sentences are independent clause, comma, fanboys independent clause. Independent clause, semicolon, independent clause. Independent clause, semicolon, big ugly conjunctive adverb, comma, independent clause. I hope that this lesson was helpful for you and that it will help you to increase your SAT writing score. Good luck!